Hiya, folks. This is Rick Emmett of Triumph.
This is Mark Merrill, also known as Johnny B. Bad.
Hi, this is a best-selling author. I threw the best-selling in there. Best-selling author Dick Wybrow.
I'm Melanie from Second Shooter.
This is Jeff with Second Shooter.
Hey everybody, it's Brian Allen from Bridges Ablaze.
Hey, this is Sammy Lee, drummer of the band Red Rain.
Yo guys, it's Mark McKay.
Hey, this is Frank Fletcher.
Hola amigos, this is Billy Sheehan.
Hey guys, this is John Karabi.
Hi, this is Jim Valance.
What's up everybody, it's Logan from All the Pretty Things.
Hey guys, it's Leather Leone.
This is Nothing from Inside the Trojan Horse.
What's up guys, Cassandra Carson here from Paralandra and the Life Project.
My name's Reggie and you are listening to the Weekly Pour podcast. Thanks so much for joining the most amazing twosome out there.
The most amazing things that can happen to a human being will happen to you if you lower your expectations. Welcome to the Weekly Pour podcast. Here are your hosts, TbT and Ace.
And that's us. I'm TbT. That guy over there is Ace. Welcome to episode 139 of the Weekly Pour podcast. It is Wednesday. It is wet Wednesday because I think we just got 72 inches of rain in the last hour.
No kidding.
It's ridiculous. I'm done.
Well, it's almost July. We're heading into July.
Yes.
And the weather is insane. It's not just here. You know, this is all a Midwestern East Coast kind of thing. New Jersey, New York, all getting the same kind of weather.
Right.
Is this what you call a La Nina or an El Nino?
I don't know. I call it damn rain.
Remember that? The El Nino weather we used to have, and they would
there's some kind of technical term for it, but I don't know what it is.
Like it just appeared in the 90s, and they just came up with a word.
Yeah.
And yeah, like it never happened before.
Not to get political, but if we're changing it to the Gulf of America, why are we still calling it El Nino?
Right. We need to Americanize that.
Yeah.
No.
Doesn't that mean like the baby or the girl or the boy or something? I don't know French.
I don't either. I'd have to look it up.
I don't know. Yeah, so it rained. We weren't sure if we were going to get this episode off because usually one of us loses power. I know I had some light flickering, and I'm sure you did.
I did. I was close, man.
So close.
It actually dropped down, darkened the room, and came back on. You know, and I thought, oh, this is it. This is it.
Like you were at a concert.
Right. It's the power lines are so weak here, as you know, so weak here that the wind kicked up. All it was the wind kicked up, and our lights flickered.
Yeah. It's
ridiculous.
Well, yeah. I had planned on coming home today, much like you, in separate areas, and jumping in the water.
I did. I was going to. I had my trunks on, was getting ready to walk outside, and the storm hit.
So instead, I just went into the front yard.
And stood there?
Yeah, because that's all I needed to
Arms
do.
Out.
Singing Creed.
Did you have your mouth open?
When I was singing Creed, yeah.
With your head up.
Yeah.
But then catch some water.
I was worried about my hair.
I was worried you would drown.
Yeah. I know when to inhale and when not to. I did not inhale. I don't know. Who's in the chat? Say hello to the chat. If you're watching on the YouTubes or in the Facebooks, be sure to jump in, say hi. It looks like Mama TBT's in, of course. And so is Mrs. TBT. And so is the Viper. And of course, moderator, director, producer,
extraordinaire,
Natalie, of course. And just stepping in and saying hi is Nat which we're glad to always have her because she's a pleasure when she comes in with her wicked humor. And that's it. At least that's all that said hi. So if you're in there, be sure to hit that thumbs up because not everybody has. Because I can see. I
bet the storm has affected us.
The storm's not all over the country. I'm just saying.
It's raining somewhere.
And Viper says it's ironic that Ace is wearing that shirt every time he comes in here. He expects so much, but he knows he's headed for a heartbreak. It's probably because he's hungry.
Me or him?
Him.
Because I'm
That was
starving.
another reference to a Winger song.
Oh, yeah.
Come on.
That's a good record.
It is. I loved it. Yeah. It could be probably because he's miles away. I can go all day. Yeah, all day long. Oh, good grief. That's somebody we've not heard a lot out of recently.
So it does me no good to pull this up in a split screen. I can get the chat in real time, but it pauses the video every time.
Well, that's weird.
It is. It's so strange. I got a split view so I can see the stories we're going to talk about, and then the YouTube screen.
One of these days, you're going to have to upgrade your technology.
This is state of the art iPad.
What state? West Virginia?
No, this is state of the art. This sucker.
I'm pretty sure we're state of denial.
This is almost brand new. Almost. The phone is brand new. The internet is brand new.
Well, right.
We have upgraded.
Right. But, and it's great because your video quality normally is usually really good. I mean, we've had fuzzy Ace at times, but that's the past. Who's talking about the past? But, you need to maybe at some point upgrade to a larger screen so that you don't have those pauses. Whether it be a tablet or a laptop.
I have a tablet.
Yeah, but all right, I'm going to give up. I give up.
It's an iPad. It's a big one.
Right.
State of the art.
How many years ago was it bought?
A year?
Not state of the art.
Oh, please.
You got to upgrade that stuff like every 8 months.
It's like a car. As soon as you drive it off the lot, man, it drops in value so quickly. It's no good.
Exactly. I don't know. I almost called you today.
What you're gonna call me what?
Well, there was an issue that that Mrs. TbT was dealing with that couldn't at the time get an answer, and I was like, you know what? I'll just call Ace, but I didn't know where you were, and you probably weren't close enough to handle it. But I almost called you.
If it was in the afternoon, I was in town all afternoon.
Yeah, I don't remember what time it was. That means I would have had to, look at my watch. I didn't. It was earlier.
Well, hopefully it was resolved.
It was. It was. It was.
Good.
Yeah, and we go into it later. But for whatever reason, Mrs. TbT just said, "Ugh." It's probably because I was talking about that whole story and not calling you. And she was probably like, yeah, you dumbass. You should have called him. Oh, well. You know what, though? How long? What time is it? What time is it?
7:08.
8 minutes. Eastern Standard Time on Wednesday, June 18th. Can you believe we're already at the 18th of June?
That's what I'm saying. It's almost July, and look at the weather.
Yeah. April showers bring May flowers. What do June showers bring?
A lot of heat.
Mosquitoes.
Yeah, that too.
Yeah. I'm probably jinxing it, but I haven't seen too many.
We have. I don't see them, but if I go outside with my wife, they swarm. They swarm.
Yeah. Right now, I'm seeing rabbits.
Like right now?
No, but there's one. Yeah, if I go outside, it's almost guaranteed I'm going to see a rabbit.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Natalie is apparently speaking French.
I think that's a drink.
It is. That's what I'm currently having. Speaking of drinks, I got to turn you on to something.
All right.
I don't have it with me. Well, I mean, I do. but Sprite with tea.
Okay.
That's what the bottle is. It's Sprite plus tea. As a matter of fact, my trusty assistant is bringing me a can now.
Oh, it's in a can?
Yeah, well, or a bottle.
They make it. You're not adding the tea to Sprite. They
No.
make it.
Yeah.
What golfer is this named after?
Tiger Woods.
I'm sure.
I don't know. But that's some pretty good stuff. It's even better when you add adult beverage to it.
Of course.
Well, I'm just saying, it's pretty good.
Now
I have a bar. I have to experiment with things.
It's fine. It is the weekly pour.
Right.
But you got me onto something. I failed to mention this. It's so, I don't know. I don't know how to think of it. Maybe I'm wrong in thinking this. Took the family to the zoo 2 weeks ago.
Okay. North or west?
Indianapolis Zoo.
Gotcha.
Which is really nice. Haven't been there in a while. A lot of cool additions. But I've got my daughter, my wife, my grandkids, and we're all walking around the zoo. But I can't figure out why they have to have alcohol vendors at the zoo. It's like, can I not drink for 5 seconds?
Right.
I mean, typically that's a family thing, right?
Yeah.
Typically. Yeah. So you have your food vendors, ice cream, food, whatever, and then you go around the corner and you can go get a twisted tea or whatever at the alcohol vendor. And I don't know who insisted on having that. It wasn't open, and maybe it's not open all the time. I don't know. And I'm not a teetotaler, and I'm not a holier than thou or nothing like that. I just thought it was strange that for 5 seconds I can't, just not have it.
Well, it's because everything now is non-smoking, so you can't smoke, so now you have to drink.
Maybe they know you're there with your kids.
Yeah. Parents need like a little chill pill, chill beverage.
Right. It could be that. It just struck me odd. It's like, right in the middle of the zoo. Hey, go over there and get you a White Claw. I almost said a Bear Claw.
A Bear Claw.
A White Claw.
Did they have Liquid Death?
They probably did. I didn't see it, but I bet you could buy it.
Because obviously that's just water. It's not alcoholic. However, for the first time ever, the Liquid Death are selling ultra limited empty cans. Empty cans of Liquid Death iced tea that were drank by Ozzy Osbourne and contain his DNA.
Are we talking about like when you see, on TV, they're tracking down the killer and they take the can from the trash and it's got a little smudge of saliva on the lip? Is that what we're talking about?
Well, apparently, yeah. I mean, yeah, there's no apparently to it. Yes. Infinite Ozzy is the name of this empty can from Liquid Death. These cans of tea beverage were actually drank by Ozzy Osbourne and contain his DNA. Ozzy drank 10 cans of Liquid Death iced tea, and then each can was sealed to preserve his DNA. Of course, we have Jurassic Park, but once technology and federal law permit, fans can use this DNA to try to clone Ozzy in the future and enjoy him for hundreds of years to come.
Why?
Well, there's more.
Okay.
Each of these limited edition official Ozzy DNA cans comes in a lab quality container, hand signed by Ozzy himself. Again, there are only 10 Ozzy DNA cans in existence, and they are being sold at liquiddeath.com/Ozzy. So if you want, you can go to liquiddeath.com/Ozzy and purchase one of these limited edition official Ozzy DNA cans for a minimum, a low price of $450. That's it. $450 to get your own Ozzy Osbourne DNA.
Given the limited run here, I'm actually surprised they're not more. Not because of the value of what this is, just because there's only 10 of them.
They are officially sold out too, by the way.
Oh, they're already gone.
I just clicked on the link. You could buy.
People bought them.
Yeah, they did. Or one person bought all 10.
I really hope it's some mad scientist.
I do too. I hope it's the producers of Jurassic Park so that we can actually see if this works.
Well, I bet there's a way. I bet we're close.
We're already there. Have you not seen the rats that they have ears growing out of?
Right. And all the regenerative things they can do with, stem cells and things like that.
Yeah. This isn't the first time that Ozzy has dealt with liquid death. We talked about this about a year ago when he joined forces with Liquid Death for a hilarious video campaign warning kids not to snort the beverage because it was named Death Dust. At the time, Ozzy Osbourne said in a statement, it was translated, I'm sure, "I love how Liquid Death makes a healthy thing like hydration more fun. Sharon, the family, and I drink Liquid Death all the time. It's delicious. But seriously, don't snort or inject anything they make. It's much better for drinking." So, unfortunately, you can no longer spend $450 because they're sold out. But had you wanted to, you could have. In an official statement, Ozzy Osbourne says, and I quote, "Clone me, you bastards!" And that was it.
Are we going to clone anyone else? Are we going to get Tony Iommi DNA, Geezer Butler DNA?
This has Sharon wrote all over it.
For promotional reasons, you think?
Oh, 100%.
Yeah. Here's the picture of them in the sealed containers. He crushed them.
Right.
He crushed them like a man. So, I mean, how many Q-tips do you need to extract the DNA?
Natalie said that's too much. $450 isn't too much for Ozzy's DNA. There are so many jokes there, but I'm refraining from saying any of them.
Sounds like a road to nowhere to me.
That's funny.
Crazy thing. Oh yeah. We're on a roll tonight.
Well, if you're gonna use the DNA and you clone them, are you just gonna have a bunch of crazy babies?
That's an obscure one.
You're welcome.
Oh, that's an obscure one. Good record too.
Yeah. Natalie tried to say Crazy Train, but I didn't get it.
I don't know. This whole story is
it's bizarre.
crazy and bizarre. And I don't know who would want to buy them, but I guess it's an odd collectible to sit behind you in your den.
It totally is.
Because no one's going to extract the DNA.
What?
No one's going to try. No one's going to try. They're going to sit them in the corner and wait for the value to go up.
Wrong. Somebody will. Somebody will do it.
Okay.
Guarantee it.
And then we'll hear a story, a year from now, about how they did it.
Oh, for sure.
And here's the child.
Yeah. Here's little Ozzy.
Right here. He's so cute.
Maybe they'll give it to a bat. So we'll finally get Batman. That's weird.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
And the bat won't get its head bit off right away.
Right.
Yeah, you got to grow the teeth.
Yeah. You have to grow it. Whatever. In other news, ex-Queensrÿche singer Geoff Tate has announced the U.S. leg for 2026 of Operation Mindcrime, the final chapter. This was according to our friends over at Blabbermouth. Ex-Queensrÿche singer Geoff Tate has announced the 2026 U.S. leg of his Operation Mindcrime, the final chapter tour. The trek sees the 66-year-old vocalist performing Queensrÿche's Operation Mindcrime in its entirety for the last time. This will be your last chance ever to witness Geoff Tate and the band perform the entire Operation Mindcrime album live. And in 2026, they are allegedly taking it to the next level with a full string ensemble and an epic laser light show. I love that album.
I do too. I think that it's a watershed moment in progressive rock and in 80s rock. Is the release of that record, and Geoff has really mined this this avenue
right
for a while now, because this is not the first time that he's done this. But it sounds like he's putting a lot into this last run with it.
Yeah,
the strings and the laser light show and Digital Viper.
I'm ignoring it. I couldn't even touch that one.
I like Empire, but it is not better.
No, not for a concept record.
So, and here's the thing, you said he was what, 66?
Correct.
Now I've not seen or heard recent Geoff Tate singing any examples, but not that long ago I saw some stuff that was pretty good, pretty good. But much like Kelly Hansen complaining about, well, not complaining, but pointing out the fact that Foreigner is hard to sing. Can you imagine trying to sing even close to 20-something-year-old Geoff Tate, 66?
Well, he could probably pull something off like Silent Lucidity, but I mean, there's still some higher things in there. I mean, it starts off pretty low, but
yeah. So maybe that's why this is the last time he's going to do this whole record in its entirety. Who knows what he'll do next if he does anything?
Yeah, because he may not even be able to anymore. I don't know. 2026 tour dates. This starts January 27th in Savannah, Georgia. Runs through Florida, South Carolina, Georgia, Alabama, Texas, Louisiana, Arizona, New Mexico, and finally stopping February 21st in Denver, Colorado at the Ogden Theater. No idea. There probably will be more dates announced later, but who knows? It doesn't really say.
Nowhere near us.
No. And a lot of these are encore performances from this year. So, like, he did, for instance, Phoenix, Arizona at the Celebrity Theater, I believe is a show he's doing this year if he hasn't already. Well, he's going back to it. So I kind of find that interesting. There are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. There are 12 dates on here. And there are more than 12, but 12 of all of these dates are encore performances. That's almost unheard of anymore.
Yeah. Usually you spread it around. The second time around you come through,
right?
You take some time off because you don't want to wear out the territory, so to speak.
Well, right. That's why we'll get a band that'll go to Indianapolis one year, and then the following year on the second leg they'll go to like Louisville. They're close, but they don't want to do the same city. But whatever.
Unless you're Def Leppard,
correct.
And Journey, and then you come to Indianapolis every year.
Right. Very true. You know who did not come here recently? That is REO Spood. I'm going to try that again.
What?
REO Speedwagon. I almost said REO Spoofwagon. The 80s classic rock band has reunited on stage for one last concert. but without their most well-known lead singer for reasons that we'll get into at some point here. Recording over a dozen songs to hit the top 40, REO Speedwagon. I'll tell you this, when I was a kid, I always thought it was Rio Speedwagon.
We probably all did at one point. But if you look, REO is all in caps. Like,
well, I didn't know that when I was like 8.
Well, yeah,
I didn't care.
And this was REO has been one of my favorites for years.
Right.
I mean, years and years. This little get together was in Champaign, Illinois, at the University of Illinois.
Yes.
That's where they all. That's where Gratzer and Neil Doughty met, formed the band, and this was kind of a nostalgic touchstone to go back to that.
Right. Or as Natalie says, Illinois.
And to go back, she probably says Sword also.
Yeah, and Walmart's.
But to go back to the old stomping grounds where it began, they even took a tour of the campus, and apparently the University of Illinois has a handful of famous alumni, and they will put a little gold plaque by the door of your dorm room.
That's cute.
Yeah, I can't remember who else was from there offhand, but they had photos of Neil Doughty next to his dorm room with his little name on a gold plaque, and Gratzer was 2 doors down. It's kind of cool.
Yeah. Saturday, members of REO Speedwagon throughout the years joined forces on the stage. That included Gratzer, Mike Murphy, Bruce Hall, Terry Luttrell, Steve Scorfina, and Doughty. But for fans who attended, they quickly noticed that Kevin Cronin was nowhere to be seen.
They didn't already know.
Right. Kevin Cronin served as a lead vocalist for decades and really wrote most, if not all, of their big hits. Some fans believed that he would make an appearance, but no. Because looking into the past, when REO Speedwagon decided to stop touring, they did so because of irreconcilable differences. So, yeah.
But REO Speedwagon didn't decide to stop touring. It was decided that Kevin Cronin couldn't use the name because it belongs to Bruce Hall and Neil Doughty.
How dare you add some real stuff to this?
Some context.
Yeah.
And I'm not. I mean, this split has been interesting for a band that endlessly tours, and another band that comes to Indiana a lot was REO Speedwagon. But it was starting to lose a lot of that original flair, because now, I mean, even when Doughty left, there was no original members.
Right.
But at least you had core members like Bruce Hall and Cronin. Bruce gets kicked to the curb, and now it's just Kevin Cronin. So I think I think that the rest of the band took issue with this. The original band, Doughty, Gratzer, those guys, and pulled that name from him, because at what point are you a tribute band or just a Kevin Cronin solo band? So
absolutely,
we'll take the name.
Yeah, and there were some fans who took issue with Cronin not being there, saying that it was terrible without Cronin. It's his voice that identifies REO Speedwagon. Disappointed with the reunion not happening. Another person said, I saw the Kevin Cronin band with Styx in Denver last week, and they played the REO hits, and it was great.
Yep. Because that's what he's been doing for years. That's what he's going to continue doing. And he's going to get most of those shows. And most of the response. I wonder what this band played.
Right. Oh, they played. Well, yeah. Surely they played everything. Especially if this was the last one. You want to hear something ironic, though?
What?
So, after this show, the vocalist, the current vocalist of REO Speedwagon, Terry, is it Luttrell? Do I say it right? Luttrell?
Luttrell.
I just, potato. Anyway, he was involved in a scary automobile accident after participating in the reunion show, saying that he fell asleep on Sunday night and crashed on Interstate 57. He says he nodded off, rolled the car over, and woke up like he was in a cocoon. That would be a cocoon of airbags. Unfortunately, it totaled his car, but he was able to suffer only a cracked sternum from the deployment of his vehicle's airbag and was recuperating for a couple days at a local hospital. You know what? There's one person that you don't ever mess with, and I hope he didn't talk any mad smack while he was on stage about Cronin, because if so, I would put this in the category of karma. We don't wish this on anybody, of course, but if you talk smack, it's about to come back and get you, bite you right in the butt.
Well, yeah, or a curse or something.
Right.
I've got a set list.
Okay.
I've got a set list, and they did play Only Strong Survive, Time for Me to Fly. I'm naming the Cronin hits.
Yeah.
Can't Fight This Feeling, Take It on the Run, Back on the Road Again, which is a Bruce Hall staple. That's the one he sings every show.
Right.
Keep on Loving You, Keep Pushing On, Don't Let Him Go, Roll with the Changes. Yeah, they played those. I believe they were joined with a country tinged band. I can't think of the name that was with them on stage. But this is titled as Terry Luttrell and the REO Classics Band.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Yeah.
Wow.
And they played plenty. Yeah. They covered the whole gamut. I mean, the old stuff that a lot of people like because they like that Terry Luttrell, Mike Murphy, who's the other singer.
Sure.
That replaced Cronin. They like that sound. But yeah, I wonder who sang these Cronin hits. I'd like to know more about that. I can't believe they played it.
Oh, I can. Absolutely. Why would you not?
I guess because that's going to be the draw. If you're celebrating the band's history.
You can't. Honestly, that'd be like having, half the members of KISS. Wait, you kind of already do. Metallica and not playing Enter Sandman, not playing Master of Puppets. You're still going to have to play these things, whether or not it's not, James Hetfield or whatever. They're still going to have to play them.
I just figured there'd be some pushback from guys like Luttrell and Murphy that said, whoa, we had nothing to do with this.
No.
And that's not why we're here. We want to celebrate our era,
Right.
Because get this, I mean, Luttrell was on one record, the very first record.
Mm-hmm.
Cronin comes in for the second record, gets canned right after it.
Right.
Third, fourth, fifth, and maybe sixth record is Mike Murphy. That's 4 records before we get back to Kevin Cronin, which that's a good little run.
Well, yeah.
So it's not like they didn't have material. It's just material that no one would have known that showed up to see the REO Speedwagon Classics band, which, if you didn't know, did a show at, I think, Brown County not that long ago.
Yes.
As probably a warm-up for this.
Yeah, exactly. So the crash, Terry Luttrell blamed it on lack of sleep, on long autograph sessions, both at the concert after party and then later at the hotel, where he said that a massive group were waiting to get autographs of at least 40 people.
That's a crowd.
40 people. He said that he didn't get to bed until 4:30 a.m. and he was back on the road at 7 because of 40 people. All those people waiting for an autograph. 40.
He probably told some stories.
Guarantee it. Yeah.
40 people.
40 people. Shoo.
But
I am surprised that he even got to bed.
I'd be tired too.
40.
Yeah, I mean, my Sharpie hand would have been exhausted.
After 40. 40.
But back to this complaint that fans are taking issue with. I understand it because REO Speedwagon's got a vast history, but Cronin is the identifying voice.
Yes, 100%.
That's what you get. That's what you hear.
A more successful reunion into the tour concert, if you will. 40. Still that back out there. For the first time in over 3 years, Jon Bon Jovi has performed a full concert with Bon Jovi. Obviously, everybody remembers that the rock legend has been battling voice issues for several years, and he told fans in February last year that he was recovering from surgery for an atrophied, I think it's atrophied vocal cord.
Atrophy.
Big words. What's what I said?
Atrophy.
Yeah. Past tense. He was speaking to Planet Rock at the time, and he said he was getting dangerously close to touring with Bon Jovi, saying, "I'm working hard and I'm feeling better every day." And it's been years since Bon Jovi's last full gig, and it has sucked. Bon Jovi have since performed a handful of songs at some private shows. However, last Saturday night, just 4 days ago, they performed their first full concert since April of 2022. The Runaway Tour's exclusive show took place at the Marathon Music Works venue in Nashville in front of 40 lucky fans. Actually, 1,500. I just wanted to say 40. They played a 17-song set peppered with classics from their distinguished career. And an interesting thing, we will probably never see any footage from this. I say that, but something will pop up. Mobile phones were strictly banned at the event, so no fan film footage has emerged online. I think it will because everybody don't follow the rules. They never do. How many songs? 17.
17
I'm looking at
songs.
the set. Did you see the set list?
Look at this.
Yeah.
The set list itself is interesting. Because I don't know how he played. How did they sing "Blood on Blood" at number 16? That's got some notes in it.
So does "I'll Be There for You."
It definitely does. Definitely does. There's a handful that don't. That maybe it gives him a break. But boy, I hope he felt good because this is pushing the limit a bit.
Yeah.
"Wanted Dead or Alive" is, of course, that's a staple. But wow, "Have a Nice Day." That's a rocking song.
So one of the a statement. Yeah, sure. One person who was in attendance said, "What a privilege to be a part of this event. Jersey meets Nash. The comeback, talent, vulnerability, nostalgia, and an all-around amazing concert. We love you, Bon Jovi. John, you did it." So maybe it was good. Nobody's got any footage to say otherwise.
I hope it was good.
I do too.
I really do. I hope that all this patience that he's had and to work through this has come to fruition, and he can maybe not do a full big long tour like he wants to do, but maybe do stuff, shows here and there.
Yeah.
Maybe take a break like AC/DC, and every third day you do a show or something.
Yeah.
That'd be neat.
Yeah. I mean, in this case, it's one every 3 years. So.
Right. Because if you remember in 2022, when the vocal problems were really, really presenting themselves, it was bad. It was horrendous.
Mm-hmm.
And I can understand being sensitive to that and not wanting phones in there.
Oh, Yeah, I mean, yes and no. I get it because if you suck, you don't want it there.
Right. Well, but also phones don't always catch the way it actually sounds. Sometimes it's they're pretty good, and other times
they distort horribly.
Yeah, it's iffy.
Right.
Sometimes they're pretty good, and sometimes they're
crappy.
Yeah.
But hopefully we get to hear more. I really hope somebody did sneak something in so that we can have something, because I'd love to hear it. Just a snippet. I just want to hear, hopefully, how good Jon sounds after everything he went through with his throat and everything. So I hope so.
I bet if something shows up on YouTube, it will get taken down quicker than you can think.
Right, but somebody will have already recorded it, and then it'll be all over TikTok, and it'll take weeks for it to completely
track all that
be
down.
gone. Yeah, to be gone. Big thing that just happened over the weekend. The 2025 Download Festival came and went. And there are a lot of memorable performances and standout moments. And we have a few, thanks to our friends over at Loudwire, that we're going to cover. One of which is going to be this week's Pour of the Week, simply because of all of the news and whatever else you want to say about this band. One of the most, I guess, surprising things about the 2025 Download Festival was the fact that the Masked Sleep Token was elevated to headline status. Then they released this album that is not pop, nor country, nor pure rock. It is more music. And everybody's all up in arms. Why do they deserve to be headlining? Blah, 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 blah. It was actually a bit controversial at the time. However, after their performance, I've not found anybody that has said anything negative. They're only saying that the status of them being a headline appeared to be well earned. The band's rapid ascent since the initial Download Festival lineup reveal did not hurt anything. This was a group that embraced the moment with over 15 songs in their set. Loudwire says the show started in dramatic fashion with a curtain drop as the band launched into their Even in Arcadia song, Look to Windward. The band definitely appeared to up their production value, complete with a Stone Castle-esque set, which they performed around, add in dazzling light show and an engaged crowd, and Sleep Token pulled off their headlining set with aplomb. They even skipped doing an encore, finishing out the night strong with Take Me to Eden. If you have not went to YouTube or any other place, TikTok or Facebook or something, there are all kinds of videos from this performance. I have seen a few of them, and I'm ready to go see them. Like, I'll leave right now in the storm.
When you have a number one record come out, your production value for your shows goes up exponentially.
Absolutely.
And yeah, I mean, their ascent, rapid is seems like a minor word. A
100%.
blazing ascent. They've really taken off.
Yeah.
When was it announced that they were going to headline? Is that the controversy?
Months ago. Yeah, well, it was the controversy that they were going to be headlining.
Right. But it was announced months ago.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
So it proved to be a good gamble because they got the number one record. They've got this big stage show, and they apparently pulled it off really well. The concert.
Yeah, they did such a good job that fellow headliners, Korn, which ironically, this was the first time that Korn had headlined the Download Festival. While Sleep Token's ascent took relatively little time, Korn got their first ado, if you will, 21 years after first appearing at the festival. Now, members of Korn have came out and said that their fellow Download Festival headliner Sleep Token shut everybody up with their set. Brian Head Welch and Monkey, one day after Sleep Token headlines, say that the pop metal titans overcame any doubts with an impressive performance and stage set. Welch added, "I love it because all these people, I don't know how many, but I heard chatter about people like Sleep Token headlining. Some people were saying they're so young to be able to headline so quick, and they came with the stage. They shut everybody up." This is big. This is a big kind of thing right here. They went bigger than a Slipknot stage. And if you've ever seen a Slipknot production, I mean, that's usually huge. But Korn, I mean, these guys are veterans. These are veterans of the rock scene, the new metal, all that. For them to come out and defend Sleep Token for what they did, that is huge. Number one, Sleep Token should be going, wow, thanks. So I appreciate that. And at the same time, all these naysayers, all these fans that were like, oh, F Sleep Token, blah, blah, blah. It's a fad. It'll blow over. Shut up. Just shut up.
Well, it sounds like it's something that's going to be remembered a little bit beyond the next couple of years. And probably something that next year, whomever headlines, if it's not Sleep Token, is going to have to find a way to top somehow. Maybe not in stage show or production, but maybe performance.
Right. Korn, they stated, "We've played this festival back when it was called Donington." Everybody remembers. I mean, that's what we remember it from.
I remember it as Monsters of Rock.
Monsters of Rock, exactly. He says, "We've been up, we've been down, and we hadn't even headlined a tit. Now look where we are." Korn have been making the festival rounds in Europe and delivered an 18-song set. The show opened with Jonathan Davis asking, "Are you ready?" as they launched into Blind. And the set included a 4-song encore that featured For You, Falling Away From Me, Divine, and of course, everybody's favorite, Freak on a Leash.
Freak on a Leash.
There were some other big moments at the festival. One of them I was looking at was kind of cool. The Sex Pistols performed, and they stopped the show multiple times. And sometimes you just want to get it right. The Sex Pistols' Frank Carter understood the assignment as they were trying to play Pretty Vacant, and they stopped it 3 times in order for the audience to efficiently get into a rocking mosh pit. That may seem a bit excessive to some people, but it set the bar for the energy level for the remainder of the band's set. Stepping in for legendary John Lydon, Carter kept the spirit of the Sex Pistols in good hands. I'm going to skip that one because that goes on with the whole next thing that we're going to talk about. Another thing that was kind of ironic, kind of neat, and a lot of people probably would never think about this. When you were attending the Download Festival this year, there was a warning in advance. The local police had requested that fans attending the weekend leave one item that you typically find on your person behind. Leave it at home. Put it in your car. Don't bring it. We don't want to see it. You're not going to get arrested, but we don't want you to bring it. You know what it was?
Pocket knife.
A smartwatch.
Really?
Yeah. It's very smart. So that's what people have been asking. So why would keeping a smartwatch be, why would it be important? Well, back in 2023, the local police received hundreds, not 40, hundreds of 999 calls, which is the equivalent to 911. Hundreds of 999 calls as a smartwatch tech had naturally assumed that certain fans at the music weekend had been in a collision. We call it a mosh pit.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, in order to avoid a repeat, the police had appealed to fans to either leave their smartwatches behind, to place them in airplane mode, or to disable the emergency alerts in order to cut down on the collision warnings that festival goers were sending to the authorities over the weekend.
Did they wonder what disaster was happening at Castle Donington? Like,
What
oh
is
my God,
happening?
what is happening? They've got helicopters, they've got every fire truck coming, ambulances.
Yeah,
It's just people moshing out.
exactly. What's wrong with you? Nothing, man. That's not the right accent, but yeah, nothing. Crazy. The one I skipped over, this is all going to kind of go all into one as we get to this. Let me pull up some more stuff here, because this is absolutely intrigued me. I have bought into the whole thing with this band, mainly because I love the mystique and I love the way this story is being told. Another performer at the festival for the very first time ever. And this band actually happens to be our pour of the week. This is not a, I guess in a way, this is kind of an up and coming new band, if you will, because quite frankly, we don't know who it is. Some people have theories, but whatever. Your theories are theories. If you're right, great, but who cares? The inception of this band is still new. But we're talking about the band President. And if you have not listened to one, two, three, four, two of their songs, the only two that have ever been released by this band as a band, Fearless and In the Name of the Father, I think is what it's called. I could be wrong. Yeah, In the Name of the Father and Fearless. Check out President. Go on YouTube, pull up their video, listen to them.
Well, and that's why this was a big deal, right? Because this was they've only put out 2 songs, and this was their first live performance.
Yes,
ever
at
the Download Festival.
At the Download Festival.
Yeah, that's no pressure.
Right. So this was one of the most buzzed about performances of the weekend. Didn't take place. This wasn't even on the main stage. Masked Mystery Band is what they're called. President chose to make their live debut in one of the tinted side stages at Download in front of an audience ready to show how much they embrace the music that's been issued so far and to see what else they had to share. So you're rolling into this place getting ready to play your set with 2 songs that people know. Only 2.
Right.
So people are like, heck yeah, I want to go listen because I want to see what all they're going to play. Now, they did play 3 additional songs, so they played a total of 5. But fans were visibly singing along with the opening song, Fearless, and the closing song, In the Name of the Father, which again are the 2 singles that have been released so far. It was sparse in terms of production value, with the band only utilizing a podium, which is presidential. It's a podium.
Right.
If you guys haven't seen this, you need to Google President the Band.
It's in the video.
Yeah, well, they need to see this mask that the lead singer wears. So the band was only utilizing a podium with their neon double cross logo on it, but they captivated the crowd with a set to feature the debut of 3 tracks. Supposedly, the titles of these 3 tracks are Destroy Me, Rage, and Dionysus. Dionysus? Dionys.
Yeah.
I literally looked it up and had it figured out. Yeah. The group were sent off with chants of President ringing throughout the tent. Their first rally, they didn't call this a show, didn't call it a concert. This was a presidential rally. Went well. Their next show is not until like July 30th.
Is that a Reagan mask that he's wearing?
I don't know if it may have started off as a Reagan-esque mask.
Yeah, it's morphed a bit, but
yeah, it's they're interesting.
Well, what do you think of the whole masked band thing, though, as a trend?
I like it.
We're seeing Ghost has kind of dropped theirs,
right?
Because so many are following in their footsteps. But we have Inside the Trojan Horse on a smaller scale.
Sure,
President up a little bit from that. Somehow they got on this festival. And then Sleep Token.
Yeah, but it doesn't stop there.
So there's more.
Well, I mean, think about what we grew up listening to. Kiss. Okay, their faces were painted, but still a mask.
And never ever where you just see what they looked like without them,
right?
Without the face paint.
Slipknot.
Right.
Guar.
Right.
ICP. I mean,
so this is not unusual.
No,
and it's been done before, but they're doing it so differently with the mystique and the production and the backstories and that sort of thing.
Exactly.
Going a bit beyond where Kiss would go or Slipknot or somebody.
For sure. Yeah. It's just I dig it. I think it's kind of neat. It's I don't want to say cool because that's such a uncool word to say, but I like the mystique. For me this kind of resonates back to something that Inside the Trojan Horse said. The reason they're doing it is to focus on the music. Don't worry about who's behind the mask. Worry about the music that you're hearing. Is this what Sleep Token's doing? No, I don't think so. Because, I don't know, and I could be wrong, but I would think if that's what you're doing, you would have Inside the Trojan Horse type masks. You wouldn't have all
that
this.
Are blank.
Right. Not all this decorative stuff. President.
No.
They're playing off of President with the President mask, but the rest of the band, blank.
You're adding a concept to the band by wearing the ornate, hooded mask or the presidential mask. Right. You're adding a concept. And even Inside the Trojan Horse is adding a concept, which is what you said, focus on the music.
Right.
But you're adding a concept and a mystique when you do all these things.
Yeah, exactly. As this was the band's first ever show as a band, all songs were essentially the live debut, with two of them being previously revealed through their videos. And again, that was Fearless that they opened it up with, and then In the Name of the Father, which is what they ended the show with. I chose them to be our pour of the week just because of their debut, the fact that they debut with only two songs known to fans, and I think it was well deserving. And if you've not heard them, we've talked about them numerous times. Take 5-10 minutes and go watch both of the videos that they have out, and you're going to see quite a difference between just the flavor of the song. It's different. In the Name of the Father, it's so different. Fearless, a little bit different as well. For one, I'm digging them. But then again, and you and I have had this conversation, I dig the absolute crap out of Sleep Token.
Right.
The metal side of them and the pop, whatever.
So, look at what this is. They played 5 songs. They don't have a lot of material to work with. They could have played covers, right. But that's not what they're about. They want to keep that concept, that mystique. 5 songs. And they went all the way to Donington, England. Hell, as far as we know, that's where they're from.
Sure.
But let's say they're not. And they come all that way, bring all their gear, whatever, just to play the 5 songs, because the festival itself is a big festival, and the exposure is more important than the amount they play.
Yep.
I mean, to me, it's almost a no-brainer. If you're invited to go, yeah, we'll go.
Absolutely. Exactly. Well done. Super show from beginning to end. All the stages, were great. Korn, Sleep Token, all of it was great.
And there's video everywhere.
Yeah.
This article we're pulling from is loaded with video.
Yeah,
From
exactly.
Loudwire.
You are not going to not be able to find that. So, yeah. So yeah, that's what we have this week. Right now we're going to play like John Cena.